Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can. Oh boy. Slowly working on making some adjustments, guys. So it might be better now, almost. Okay, so people are saying that it's better now, that we're doing good, which is good news. Alright, great. Sorry things are a little shaky. Oh good, I'm so glad it's better. Yay, okay, so I had to make some microphone adjustments. If you guys have been to a stream before, you may know that this is the first time I've used this particular setup. This doesn't look very familiar. This is actually my old computer desk, and I had to make some adjustments. Okay, so I figured we would just go through a painting from start to finish today. So yeah, so we're gonna start in my sketchbook. I'm gonna do some planning for a piece, and then I have some watercolor paper ready, and we are gonna just hang out together and paint a bit. It's been a little bit since I uploaded a video. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure how long, but we are gonna go ahead and do this. If you guys have any questions along the way, please do let me know. I'm going to grab a pencil. I've got so many things to look at here. Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know, I woke up today and I was feeling like it might be fun to hang out and do a stream. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is my current sketchbook. Sorry, things are going to be a little bit shaky. This is my current sketchbook, and it's one that I made just out of Canson XL mixed media paper. And I didn't make it that long ago. It's kind of recent. So, yeah. Oh, somebody asked about the pink pencil. This is a Prismacolor Col-Erase colored pencil. I like to use these erasable colored pencils for sketching, well, because they're erasable, and the colors, they kind of disappear, or you can't see them very much when you paint over them with watercolors. So just as an example, I used this pink pencil. I use this pink pencil underneath this painting that I actually just finished. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll recognize this painting. This is the painting for my Draw This in Your Style challenge thing that is going on Instagram right now. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you are welcome to check that out. There is going to be a little giveaway associated with the event, so if you want to enter that, you can head over to my Instagram page. I think there's a link in the description to that, hopefully. So yeah, that's happening now, and I used the pink pencil for the sketch underneath this. You can see it a little bit in some places, but not everywhere. So it's there in some places. Just so you know, I think there's kind of a considerable lag between, like, you know, live and what's actually showing on the stream. So if it seems like I'm talking about things that you guys said in chat like a minute or two ago, that's probably why. Just so you know. But maybe not. Oh man, that's weird because, like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to not worry about it, because what I see in the live stream, I think is not the same as what you guys are seeing. Like, I think I'm seeing something behind what you guys are seeing. Anyway, moving on. So I was doing some little test color wheels for some of my favorite, color palettes. So just some of my favorite combos of red, yellow, and blue from different brands. Just to kind of see them all together and see how they're similar and how they're different. I'm not really sure which paints I'm going to be using. Yeah, this one was my first idea for the event. I really want to incorporate this blue, I know, it's a really random thing, but the blue leafy things, that's very, very descriptive, I know, into a painting soon. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I really want to do it soon. Okay, so I need to warm up a bit. So we're just going to start from there. And, yeah, I don't really have a ton of plans for getting started. I just need to warm up a bit. I have Pinterest open off to the side, but I'm probably going to pull it up on my phone so I have something a little bit closer to look at. Give me a second here. I don't have a ton of plans for what I want to paint right now. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lag. Okay. But I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, so we're just gonna get started. I'm warming up mostly to just start thinking about drawing and kind of get that part of my brain waking up before I jump right into a painting. I realized I probably shouldn't have used the pink pencil for this. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. Here, I'm actually gonna, I even sharpened the black one, and then I don't, for whatever reason, I just didn't use it. So yeah, I just need to warm up a little bit. One thing I don't want to get into the habit of doing is like, and you guys, we've talked about this before in previous streams, is just like apologizing constantly for streamy things. So it'll be what it will be, and hopefully things will go smoothly, but who knows? Who knows, to be honest. So I really don't need this sketch to be perfect. I just need to start thinking about drawing. I'm kind of holding this up at an angle so I can see it a little bit better. And it's gonna start super messy at first, of course, because I just need to warm up. This is literally the first drawing I've done today, so I have a rough idea of what I want to paint today, just something pretty comfy and pretty simple, or pretty, you know, something that I'm pretty comfortable doing anyway. So yeah, hopefully that'll go smoothly when we get to that point. I keep thinking that I want to draw, or paint rather, heads from different angles, and then depending on what I'm painting or what I'm working on or what I want to communicate, it keeps just like not working out for the idea that I have. I end up doing more straight on head poses a lot lately, which is fine. So I just did this little scribble. Yay! I mean, I shouldn't call it a scribble, that's not nice. This little sketch. So helps me to start thinking about shapes and what is appealing. And also you can see there's a lot of like scritchy, scratchy lines where the lines kind of get jaggedy like this, and that's just a super common sign of not being warmed up, as opposed to longer, more fluid lines, you know, that come from just being more warmed up, I guess. So I might bring the camera in a little bit closer if we're going to keep sketching so you guys can see a little better. So forgive any wobbliness as we come in. I'm pulling on the light too. Oh boy. Come off of the light. Ah! The cord is like wrapped around the light. This is great. Okay, there we go. That was nice, wasn't it? That was very, very nice. Oh boy. Okay. Let me bring you guys in a little more so you can see what I'm doing. That's better, I think. Oh, this thing is a thing for a cord. Wah! Okay. Sorry. Okay, that should be better. A little bit closer, at least. Yeah, I'm currently using Pinterest. I'll use Pinterest for... I use Pinterest for warm-up sketches. I never directly... If I'm going to do like a final painting that I might want to sell, I usually don't use Pinterest for that sort of thing, just because I don't own the pictures. so you have to be careful with that. But it's great for warming up, you know, for practicing. And depending on how much what am I talking about? And depending on how much I alter the original image, I can reach a point where I feel comfortable with the concept as something that is mine. So. Okay, let's do, where do I, yeah. Okay, so let's do another one. This one is going to be more 3/4 view. So we'll do another little sketch, and then I will finalize my idea for a for painting for today. Yeah, I've been taking a bit of a break. It's actually been really nice. Yeah, I've been just trying to reconnect with making art and thinking about the kind of videos I want to make in the future, you know? And it's been really nice to just take that time. I also have had a little, I think it's ending now, but I had a little poll going on Instagram where I asked you guys what kind of videos, or question thing, what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. You guys were super nice about connecting there. A lot of people were saying that they'd like to see more just painting videos, you know, just working on creating paintings. And that made me really happy because that's definitely something that I have wanted to get back to lately. I had so many like companies that were reaching out to me for a little while and asking if I wanted to review products. And it was most of the time stuff I was really excited to share with you. I mean, I wouldn't share it with you if I wasn't excited about it. But that stuff just all kind of backed up. And I had so many review type things that I was kind of obligated to create that just regular art creation videos, you know, kind of took a back seat. But now that all that stuff is cleared up and I haven't taken on anything new in that regard, I'm going to be able to just kind of get back to just making art on the channel for a little while. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be fun. And of course, paint making videos too, because those are really fun to put together. I'm going about this pretty much how I normally do. So I usually put in the overall head shape first and then carve out the details from there. So I usually start with the ear and then after that go to the nose. I kind of skipped ahead a bit to the eyes this time, but I usually put the eyes in last. Hey everybody. Oh, hello to everyone who is saying hello. That's so nice of you guys. Yeah, we will be painting in a bit, but right now I'm just warming up, getting my brain thinking. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the quickest ways to ruin a painting is if I jump into it too soon, if I don't take the time to warm up, you know. So yeah, this is super important time and very, very much worth it. I used to always want to skip this, you know, taking the time to just warm up. I wanted to skip it like all the time, but that's just no good. I want to, if you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them. I feel like that's a great thing to be able to do during live streams is to have the opportunity to actually answer your questions because I can't always, you know, reply to every comment. So it's nice that we can do that here. We can talk about stuff. Sorry about the lag also because I know that that's going to happen. But what you gonna do? Oh, I like that. That's fun. Okay. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit more warmed up now. I'm going to read some comments. Yeah, the pressure of feeling like you're going to mess up. Yeah, I understand that. I think a lot of that comes from, hold on, I need some tea. I think a lot of that comes from how much we associate the creation of art with sharing it these days with the internet and everything. We feel like if we're making art, we obviously have to post it online, you know? And we automatically associate creating art with sharing art. But sometimes, like, you just need to separate those things. You need to separate the creation of the art from the sharing of the art, you know? And then you can better engage with the creation process. Because if you're automatically thinking about how your art is going to be received by other people, you're like skipping a whole step, if that makes sense. You just need time to connect with your art just by yourself, just you connecting with your art outside of the realm of other people and social media. Yeah, and how all of that goes. Oh, here come the questions. Yep, here they come. When did I start painting with watercolors? That would be, oh goodness, 2.5 years ago, maybe? Between 2.5 and 3 years ago. So somewhere around there. Oh, and for everyone who's saying that they're glad that I'm back, thank you. That's very, very kind. I appreciate that very much. I'm still going to be taking a little bit of a break from regular uploads, but we'll probably do another live stream or two before I start publishing regular videos, so that'll be fun. What else are we talking about? What paper am I using? This paper, this is just Canson XL mixed media paper in a sketchbook that I made. I'm going to be painting on some hot press paper soon. Do I plan to branch out into more diverse subjects? That's a good question. Yes and no. My goals right now are to find what I love and kind of cling to that and make a bunch more of it. So that may be just a ton of portraits, which I'm fine with, or more varied human anatomy, but I don't plan to start learning how to paint and draw cars or buildings. Not that much. I mean, if it gets incorporated into something I'm already doing, I might utilize it then, but it's not a high priority because I want to just cling to what I love about creating art and refine the kinds of things I want to make. So if you're in a learning phase and you're trying to establish the fundamentals, then it's really important to branch out. But where I'm at right now is I'm just trying to hone in on what I really like. Oh boy, so many questions. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and that kind of leads into, somebody asked about tips for a beginner. Like if you're a beginner artist, life drawing is so important. So drawing things from life, not just people, but objects too, to start to understand three-dimensional form. So important. I'm going to start playing around with colors, by the way. So drawing from life to understand 3D form is very important. There's a lot of resources online about how to draw. Lots of people have been making lots of content. I learned a lot from Psychra and Proco, those two YouTube channels, when I was first getting started. Like some really just good, fundamental, eye-opening stuff, you know. They were really helpful for me. And try not to focus too much on quote-unquote finding your style. I feel like that just pushes people into repetitive drawing or even sometimes repetitive mistake making instead of learning the fundamentals. So even if you end up trying to do things realistically when you know that's not the style you want, it's important to learn the rules before you can break them. Hi Steve! Thanks for stopping by. We're just kind of warming up right now. The colors that I'm playing with right now, this is quinacridone gold, and this is some kind of magenta. I'm not exactly sure what this color is. This one, it's PR 122, so commonly used for like a quin red or something thereof, some sort of magenta. I like reds and yellows that mix desaturated oranges. So whether that's a warm yellow and a cool red or a warm red and a cool yellow, contrasting those and getting desaturated values gives me nice skin tones. And then if I want to make it a darker skin tone, I can just add a little bit of blue and that will desaturate it even further. I'll show you an example. And I can get some nice rich browns and purples for more varied skin tones too. So yeah, desaturated oranges are the best. I love them. Okay, so for today I do have a reference photo that I thought would be fun to try and paint because it's I like the lighting on it, so we're gonna look at that. Let me find it quick. I just saved it recently, like maybe this morning. Anyway, it's kind of hard to see. This is the reference. It's kind of good that you can't see it very well because you can get a better idea for the lighting. Lots of lighting coming from this side, shadow on this side with a little bit of light, just a little bit of like a secondary light source within the shadow. But I really want to play with this strong shadow idea. I'm hoping to upload this stream to YouTube, so you should be able to watch it afterwards, hopefully. That would be great. Anyway, I want to play with this strong lighting idea, and yeah. If you see that I have not answered your question, you're more than welcome to ask it again. Maybe just once, not just a ton of times, but yeah, just ask it again if I miss it, so sorry about that. And oh, if you @ me in the comments, that makes it so much easier for me to find your questions, because that shows up in big orange and I can see it. So somebody asked if I use the Sketchy app. I don't know what that is, and I have not used it. Will I be up? Yep, I will be uploading the stream to YouTube. Yeah, so this is my White Nights watercolor set. It has really big mixing wells on this side. It does have this smaller tray that attaches to the bottom for smaller mixing wells, but I tend to like pooling some of my mixes together, so I use this a lot. I tend to, you know, just allow my colors to mix together to get my color palettes a bit more harmonious, and that's really fun. And thank you, Steve, about the line quality. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, expressive lines are important to me. I sometimes will beat myself up for not having super clean lines, but yeah, it is what it is, and I do like it. So, thank you. Oh, thank you. Hey, I'm Green says they have to go. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, somebody asked, Mediocre Hattie asked if there were other types of art that I'm interested in pursuing, like sculpting and things. I actually used to take ceramics in school, and I loved it so much. Ooh, tips for art block. We'll do that next. I loved sculpting so much, and now that I do a lot of portraiture, I'm really interested in sculpting again. I loved it, so someday maybe I would like to get into that again. I think that would be really fun. Tips for art block. Oof. When I feel like art block is such a wide term, and there are so many reasons that a person can feel blocked. This is gonna. By the way, I'm now going to be sketching a thumbnail sketch for the final painting, just so you know. Yeah, I feel like there's so many reasons that people can start to feel blocked that it's difficult to pin that down, you know, like why that happens or what to do about it. But when I'm blocked, I usually have to step away from what might be my normal subject matter and try something else. So that would be a good opportunity to practice some other forms of art making, like if I want to do like landscapes, or if I just want to try new colors, you know. I think that's usually a really good time to try new things when I'm feeling blocked. It kind of depends on why I'm feeling blocked. If I feel like I'm not happy with the art that I'm making, it could just be time for growth. So it could also be that I need to spend some time studying work that I enjoy by other artists. And doing actual studies, you know. And I think that that's something that is kind of shunned because it's seen as copying. But it's so important to learn from the people that you admire and learn what it is that you like about their art. And it's add tears. No, no tears. Anyway, yeah, I think studies can be really important too. Trying to find what you love again. And also just allowing yourself to take a break from creating if you need to, you know, and shutting down that part of your brain that says you have to be constantly making stuff, because you might just need to a mindset reset, you know? So allowing yourself the time to take a break is super important. And sometimes that won't include any art. I don't know how much I want to flesh out this thumbnail. I don't know. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. If you have any other specific things in relation to art block, just let me know. What are we talking about now? What do you do to make work that is meaningful to you? That's a good question. Well, I like sometimes when I'm working on a painting and I'm including an element that I don't normally include. So I have a painting, you guys may know, I have a painting that I started. Oh, I actually was painting it in the last live stream I did. That painting's still not done. And for some reason, I am not super keen on working on it. And part of it's because I have to paint a bunch of flowers. It's not that I don't like painting flowers, but I'm not really connecting with the idea of spending a bunch of time painting flowers right now. So that's a bit difficult. This is really, really sketchy, by the way. It's like kind of hard. But anyway, art that is meaningful to you. I don't know. For me, it's like the things that I'm thinking about when I'm lying in bed and I'm trying to shut my brain down, but I just can't. I just keep thinking about them. I try to paint about that. It's random. I really like drawing and painting people. I just feel like it's something that a lot of people can connect with, and my art can sometimes get a bit, I don't know, surreal or dark. I don't even know what the accurate terminology would be. Wowee, this is a hard question to answer. I don't know, I just cling to the things that I get excited to sketch and try not to worry about forcing myself to do the other stuff, you know? One thing that is important in this sketching phase is focusing on the things I know I want to include. So the areas where the shadow transitions and how that communicates the curvature of the face. So like how all of this is in shadow, that's important. And then this is in shadow too, but there's some warmth to this shadow. That's going to be really fun to paint, actually. because right here the shadow's really warm because the skin is kind of like reflecting on itself. So this is a warmer shadow, and then it gets a little bit cooler down here. That'll be fun. And then the curvature of the shoulder, I like that a lot. I like the light inside of the ear here, which I just made dark, but it won't be. And then I'll have to decide if I want to do anything with hair. So rough idea. And I also like that this one eye here, there's a lot of light in this eye, a lot. And I shaded it, but it's not going to be shaded. So the eyes are going to have a lot of contrast. This one's going to be darker, and then the other eye will be lighter. I'm super excited about that. That's going to be fun to paint. Tips for young artists. Don't push yourself to feel like you have to be as good as the people you admire right away. Take advantage of the fact that you're starting while you're young, and you can spend as much time as you would like learning and building an understanding of fundamentals. Like I started pursuing art seriously as a hobby and to learn when I was 25. So, yeah, if I had started when I was 16, or, I mean, I have drawn, I've always drawn, but it was never to get better, you know? I just drew for fun. Yeah. So I just drew for fun, and I didn't draw to learn and get better. And of course, there weren't these resources that we have these days with YouTube and Skillshare and all of these amazing professional artists who are sharing their knowledge, in a lot of cases freely sharing their knowledge. That just didn't exist in the capacity that it does now when I was younger. So you have a lot to take advantage of, a lot to learn from, and hopefully a lot of time to do it, you know? All right, so I've got a rough idea of light and shadow. I am going to quickly, and then I also have to think about shape at this point, where I want there to be hard edges and soft edges and interesting shapes. I want to emphasize the light and shadow here. Give me just a second. This is going to be fun, I think. Excited about this. Yeah, when you're a beginner, focus on the fundamentals and don't stress about style. Of course, you can experiment with stylistic things that you really like. Of course, you can always experiment. But learning about perspective and color and value, I mean, you're always going to have more to learn about that stuff, but learning about it when you're first getting started is going to help you to feel more empowered and less frustrated when you're ready to move on to your own things as you go. People keep saying add tiers, and I'm not, or it's mostly just Earl's art who keeps saying add tiers, because that was a thing that was happening in the last stream. And I'm not doing it. I'm not adding tiers. I'm not doing it this time. No way. I'm excited about this. I've been in a weird place lately where I'm excited to create art, and the final piece is way different than what I expect, but it's just because I'm learning and I'm kind of being more confident when I create stuff. So that's been really fun. Okay, I have a rough idea of what I want to do. It's time to sketch out our final piece. So sometimes I will sketch on sketching paper and then transfer it to watercolor paper, but my absolute favorite thing to do is just sketch directly onto my watercolor paper, and I'm bummed because I smudged this in transport, like just moving it to this room, and I don't know what I smudged it with, but I don't care because we're just practicing. So I'm going to back up a little bit. And I'm going to sketch directly onto this paper. Let me see if I can get this off. If I can't, I'm not going to fuss with it. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I smudged this paper. Oops. Oh, well. Let me look at what other questions people are asking. brushes for gouache. Technically, you can use the same brushes that you would use for watercolors. I wouldn't recommend, if you're just getting started with gouache, using a water brush. It's going to be more difficult to control the water, and water control is super important working with gouache. I actually like just cheap synthetic brushes that are kind of soft, but you might still use them for like acrylics when working with gouache. If I'm using my watercolor brushes, they tend to get too wet and it's harder for me to control the water. So you can use them, but it might be easier to learn gouache using like cheap synthetic brushes, and as opposed to super juicy watercolor or juicier watercolor brushes. I'm going to prop my phone up here so I can try to get a better view of my reference. And I'm going to hold this at an angle that's a little bit easier for me to see so I don't get any distortion, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Having trouble drawing. Yep, you're just staring at your sketchbook. Yep. Man, don't worry about making bad drawings. You're gonna have bad drawings. I have tons and tons of bad drawings. I have way more bad drawings than I have good drawings. And that's fine. You need the bad drawings. I feel like I've been teaching this to my kids lately, actually, that you learn more from your failures than from your successes. So, I need to do one more thing. And you need to fail in order to see what to do to improve. And it's important. And it's not a waste of time. I need to think about framing for this real quick. That's too wide. Okay. Sorry, I just need to think about where this is going to end and start and how it's going to go. Okay, something like that maybe? Okay, so yeah. We've got some 100% cotton hot press watercolor paper here. Hot press paper has been my favorite for a little while now. I really enjoy working with it and working on it. So I just need to look at this and think. This board is just I don't know actually. My father-in-law had the wood laying around and he cut it to this size for me, and I use it for paintings 8 by 10 and smaller. I can use this board to tape things down to. I need something larger for larger paintings, but 8 by 10 and smaller I can use this board. Okay. Someone said do a 100 heads challenge with your followers. Just so you guys know, I did do the 100 heads challenge already. I might do it again someday, but I would probably want to change it up and do it a little bit differently if I did it. Yeah, but I have done that. I have a video showing the some of them being sketched and then all of them at the end. Okay. So I've got my thumbnail sketch. I've got my reference photo. My phone's going to keep shutting off. Oh boy. This is probably the part I'm most nervous about streaming. Hi, Lemon Cat. I see you. Because this final sketch process, I need to take my time. I hope you guys don't mind, but we can definitely chat while I do this. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So I need to think about positioning and where I want everything to be. I want the back of the shoulder, or the back to end like there. So yeah, also the sketch is going to be pretty light because I'm using pink pencil, and if the final intention is to paint over it, I don't want my sketch to be very dark. So there's a couple questions that are a little bit similar. Tips for new art content creators and starting social media. When you're first getting started, just share what you're doing. Like, if you worry too much about what you should be sharing and how you should be doing it, you'll never start. So if you want to do it, just start. Hey Lacey, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, if you want to start, you just gotta start. All right, hopefully I didn't already mess this up. Okay, I should have started, I have to always start in the same place also, or I will probably get the framing wrong, which I'm worried that I already have, but I'm just gonna keep going. So yeah, if I get a bit quiet during the this phase, it's just because this is kind of when I need to focus most. So yeah, because if I don't have a strong sketch, there's no making it better just by painting on top of it. So yeah, I'm already, yeah, this is rough because it's difficult for me to proportion the head properly starting from the bottom. So I like need to start from the top. Okay. I'm going to ignore this down here and just focus on sketching the head and getting that right. And then I'll probably need to redraw the bottom, to be honest. And I also can't focus too much on making it look exactly like my reference. Yeah, I'm going to erase this. So I know this is kind of taboo. I'm erasing on my watercolor paper, which is not good for the paper, but I'm being gentle, and my marks are very light, and I don't care a ton. So I'm doing it. I'm erasing and starting over. I know how much this paper can take, so I'm just trying to be as gentle as possible. Oh, bye, Rena. Thank you for coming. Okay. Oh, I also feel like I should thank you guys because we recently hit 90,000 subscribers, which is like a lot of people. So thank you. Thanks, guys, for your support. And I'm going to shift things. I want the head to kind of cut off up here and be bigger. This is tough. Wowee. Okay, I think I'm making progress now. I know it's so hard to see the, yeah. Oh, do you guys want to see the reference image again? Yeah, so here's the, let me just show you quickly. This is the reference image. Sorry, the light's there. So I'm focusing on this lighting effect here. I like that. I like the shapes that it creates. Yeah, erasing on watercolor paper. Yeah, it's just, it's a lot. Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, Steve's fantastic and is making really, really awesome content. Okay. So yeah, this was a better idea. I need to start from the top of the head. I just need to. I also will have to reach a point where I just stop worrying about the sketch and just telling myself, hey, this is a practice thing, so like relax and just paint it. Because I will have to make adjustments. It's not going to be exactly like my reference. I don't even want it to be exactly like my reference. So the reference is just for getting the lighting and the thing. Yep, there we go. The reference is for getting the lighting and the facial structure correct, just so it looks like a person. But other than that, I'm going to be disregarding some details in favor of other things for the for the final piece. I think the mystery of creating is a beautiful thing, actually, when you don't know what's going to come of something. And that's something I've kind of been clinging to lately, is going like, I don't need to, I don't know, like I don't necessarily need to be trying to make something specific. So like what comes out of it is kind of like one of my favorite things, because I don't know what to expect, and it is a surprise sometimes. Okay. Oh, and now we're getting somewhere. I know it's hard to see, but we're getting somewhere. How do I balance parenting with art making? That's a fantastic question. One of the biggest balancing factors is just the fact that my husband's amazing. So he watches the kids a lot. And he like just walked into the room so he can hear me, but yeah. He's amazing, and he's very supportive, and he is actually, you know, it's Friday. It's 12:53 p.m., so it's almost 1 in the afternoon, and he's watching the kids. And he's amazing. And that happens a lot of days, that he watches the kids so I can work and do art and live stream. So he makes a lot of this possible. But also there's just times where I don't work 40 hours a week. I try not to anyway. But because my kids need me, and they need time and attention, and they're little. So we're getting close to a face shape that I like. Hope you guys can see this at least a little bit. I know it's kind of hard to see the sketch, but once we start painting, the shape will be more visible. I'm excited about some of the shapes that I'm seeing, and I think that they're going to be very fun to paint. Yeah, anyway, yeah, the mystery of creating. Sorry, we talked about that a little bit. For me, there's something really special about just letting the creation process be an adventure, you know, like the painting process. And instead of going, I need the final result to be this painting, just allowing myself to let it be a surprise and be surprised with what the outcome is. And then I know that doesn't work for everybody, especially when you're going, I want to create this painting and I want it to look like this. I want to communicate this specific thing. I've found that it's more effective for me to communicate emotions with looseness and with colors and value than trying to keep it perfect the whole time, you know? Like I tend to lose what I want to communicate if I try to keep it perfect more often than if I just allow myself to loosen up and let it be what it will be, even if it's different from what I had originally envisioned. So it's been a big mindset shift for me, trying to get to that point. But it's been really crucial to getting closer to what I want to be creating. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. We are getting close to painting time, which is exciting. I just need a nose and the other eye. Another thing that's been weird, and I've been not connecting with a ton lately, is hair. You may notice that a lot of my paintings, the figures don't have hair. I think this one will, just because I'm kind of liking some of the ideas I'm having for that. But there's something about hair. I don't know, just haven't been connecting with it a ton lately. I feel like it adds a timelessness to pieces where they don't have hair, which I like. All right, I need a nose and I need a mouth. I think I forgot about the mouth. Okay. All right, let's think here. Ugh, no phone. I need to keep my phone. I guess that's all right. So the nose is going to come out from the bottom of the ear to sit. And I'm thinking about the center line. And also trying to leave room for the mouth. So I might have to make adjustments. I need to turn my phone brightness up. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, someone asked about finding natural pigment for paints, like just going out and finding pigment. I think that could be a really fun idea. I'd definitely consider it. I've never done it, but that's not to say that I wouldn't. I think that could be a really interesting adventure, you know? Going out and finding that could be fun. I feel like there's a weird anime sort of thing happening with this eyeball. It might be a little bit too big. We'll see. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And I also appreciate your patience very much. This is a time-consuming and crucial stage. No matter how loose the painting gets when it's done, this part has to be... I have to be happy with the sketch, you know? If I'm not happy with the sketch, there's like no way I'm going to be happy with the painting. So, like, it is impossible. So I just need to take my time here and yeah. Okay, there's something. Yeah, I think this eye is a little too big. I'm going to erase it. But maybe I will get the mouth in first before I redraw it, just so I can have a better gauge. So I put the Cupid's bow in, and then I'm just going to build down from there into the lips. Less of this side will be showing. So it's gonna look shorter over there. And then this always happens to me. I don't know if I'm putting the mouth too high or if the mouth is just not big enough, but I always end up with a very large chin. But I think I like it this time. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see this sketch because it's all pink and the lines are very light, but we're going to start painting soon and then everything will be clearer, literally, just you'll be able to see better. Okay, so now with the nose in, I can come back to this eye, think about where the eye sits in relation to that, and make it a little bit smaller this time. Yeah, just a bit smaller. Yeah, okay. I think that's better. Just a bit smaller. This eye is going to have a lot of light in it, and that's going to be super important, or at least the one side of the eye is going to have a lot of light. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Nancy says they have to go. Oh man, painting giant. Somebody mentioned painting like on a massive piece of paper. I would love to do something like that. Like just some really huge surface to paint on. That would be so fun. I should at least start with a full sheet of watercolor paper that's like 22 by 30 inches or something like that. Might be not quite those dimensions, but that would be fun. Okay, so we've got a rough sketch to work with here. I haven't really decided what's going to happen with the hair. It'll probably be a bit abstract. So I don't know how much of this you can even see. It's kind of hard, I know. Maybe this will adjust. You can see a bit of the sketch here. And that smudge, which is a shame that the smudge is there because that's actually a light spot. Like there's gonna be a lot of light there. Oh well. Alright, I just want to paint. I feel like the face overall is a bit more stylized than I might want, but yeah, Earl's art, go get some sleep, it's late. 12 hours difference, yeah. Alright. Alright, I've got my kneaded eraser, because now I care about being careful, for whatever reason. I just want to lighten up my lines, so they're not as visible, which is, I know it's harder for you guys, but hopefully you guys will get to just kind of see the painting emerge then. Oh, somebody asked about if I'm gonna let you guys send me fan mail. I never officially announced this, but you can. You can send me fan mail, actually. I have a P.O. box, and the P.O. box has been, the address has been in the description of every video for over a year. Or at least over 6 months. I don't remember how long I got my P.O. box for. But for a long time, there's been a P.O. box address in the description of my videos. So if you guys want to send me stuff, you can. Obviously, you don't have to. I need to do like an official YouTube announcement. I announce it on Instagram, but never here on YouTube. I need to mention it. That would be really useful. Anyway, yes, you can send me fan mail. Thank you. Okay, it's time to paint. And now I need to pick some colors and think about, probably going to start with like a base shadow color that will cover a lot of the face. Probably going to need 2 base shadow colors, one warmer and one cooler. I'm going to grab a big brush. I'm going to use this big quilly brush. Okay. Alright, I need to clear some space so I can mix colors. You guys are going to see me working out of this well a lot. And yeah, I'm going to keep you guys further back for this initial part because I'm going to just be laying in large blocks of color. Oh boy, this is bad. I have my tea right next to my water. So I'm going to mix that so I don't dip my paintbrush in my tea. That would be sad. Alright, I need to think about what kind of colors I want. So let me do a couple little warm-up sketches. Yes, I am using my White Nights paints. Thank you for answering that question. I seem to be incapable of using any red in this set well, primarily the cadmium red light that's here. I love it. I love mixing with it. So I'm actually going to try mixing that with a little bit of phthalo blue. So the purple that you get from those two is not going to be, it's going to be very gray. It's going to be very desaturated, which is what I want. Yep, I want a very desaturated purple. Oh yeah, I feel nervous when doing live streams all the time. Constantly, it never goes away. That's why I haven't done a live stream yet in my break, because I needed some time to just create art without the NURBS, because I'm worried, like, what if this doesn't turn out? What if I don't like it? What if you guys don't like it? What if I'm boring? Like, constantly worrying, of course. So, yeah, and I will be nervous the whole time that the stream's going, but that's okay. Painting in front of people is scary, and painting in front of 181 people? That's scary. So yeah, I am nervous. Thanks for asking. Okay, we're gonna start with a cooler shadow value. Well, maybe we'll mix in a lighter one up top, or a warmer one. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to start painting, and we're going to see what happens. So I know where I want the cooler shadow value to be. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that was wrong. Okay. This brush is juicy. Wowee. So I have to work kind of quickly here, because I'm gonna need to smooth some edges and change some things, so I need to be thinking about that. Like, there's some spots where there's a hard edge, but some spots where it's soft, so it does feel weird, yes, to just be covering all of this, but that's where we're at. And then I'm gonna actually just let this fade off the edge, I think, like that. So people are asking about the brush. Give me just a second, and I can show it to you. All right. There's a rough thing. And then I need something warmer to drop in to a few spots. So starting loose and then working into more refined things is super important. So that's what I'm doing. Lots of warmth here. And then cooler. This initial value is very light, so that's fine. Sorry about the reflection on the painting. That's just, this light is a bit reflective, so I don't want to make it too dark. Okay, so there's like our big shadow shapes. And that we're going to be just kind of building out of. I like how the color isn't the same in every spot. Like, there's some areas where there's more blue and some areas where there's more red. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Oh, thank you, Zofia, or Zofia, however you say your name. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so this is a large quill brush. I would like to be able to say the name, but there's no guarantees, let's be honest. It's like Dainayw, something like that. It comes in a set of 4, and the company sent them to me. They didn't ask for a review or anything. They just sent me the brushes. Where's the other one? I'm just gonna show you all 4 of them. I have my brush container here, but I don't know what I did with the other one. Oh, here it is. So these are the 4 that come in the set, just 4 different sized quill brushes. This is the smallest one here, and the one I'm using right now is the largest then. They're nice. Very fluffy. I think they are, what are they? I think it's a mix of natural and synthetic hairs, I believe. Okay. All right, let's see. I want to put some warmth in the ear too. Get that nice warm reddish value in. And there's just, like, when there's light bouncing around inside the ear, that warmth is so nice. These keep pretty decent points too for a quill brush, so that's always nice. And then I'm gonna desaturate this color a bit with some of our purple mix. Aw, Jem, thank you. Oh my goodness, that's so kind. Yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to hang out with you guys and have everybody together in one space. Like, just to have a way to do that is so special, I think. I'm gonna grab a cooler red to pop in down here. Yeah, and I have to remind myself that a live stream doesn't necessarily serve the same purpose as a YouTube video. You know, like when in a YouTube video, you guys come to watch the video and see what you're gonna see, but a live stream is more about hanging out, you know? So if things move obviously a lot slower, that's okay. And it doesn't have to be as refined and as structured because we're just hanging out. So that means a lot to me. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so we're getting some rough shapes in currently. This is fun. We need a little bit more pink up here, I think. Something that can fade off up here. So yeah, you can already kind of see, hopefully, that shadow that's being cast off to the side. Rougher or neat styles, as far as like what to see in other people or to create myself, because I have appreciation for both, for everything. Ooh, I've been loosening up a lot myself, so I've been creating a lot of looser stuff. But I have massive amounts of respect for the people who do neater, more detailed work. Just tons of respect for that stuff. It takes so much time and patience that I've found that I generally don't have when creating art myself. Soon going to be time to move away from this brush because I need to do some smaller details soon. And that's when this is going to start to really, really come together, I think. Ooh, tea with Arlie. That sounds fun. This is, somebody asked what kind of tea I was drinking, and I didn't answer. Sorry. It's a black tea blend. And it's a mix of cream, lapsang souchong, which is the black tea, and oh geez, I don't remember. It has like caramel and ginger flavor in it as well. I get my teas from adagioteas.com. Obviously not sponsored, but yeah, I get my teas from them, and I have been for a couple years. Really I like their site a lot, and I like their tea. This one is actually a Dragon Age fan blend based on the character Krem from Dragon Age Inquisition, who is fantastic. So right now, as far as subtle variations in color, I'm looking at my reference a lot. Washing windows! Lacey's washing windows. Oh boy. That's okay. It's an important job. It's an important and noble task, and somebody has to do it, so. You're making the ultimate sacrifice, Lacey. Let's see if I can get the right color. I want lots of warmth here and on this edge here. Oh, this is an important question that some people have been asking or stating recently, so I think it would be worth mentioning. Obviously, disclaimer beforehand, I don't want to argue about this or start any kind of debates, but I've had some people who have been saying that they would like to see me paint more people of color, and I think that's fantastic, obviously. I'm mixed race myself, so when I create art, I don't usually paint with race in mind. I just paint people, and I oftentimes don't even paint with any sort of gender in mind. Sometimes my characters may look more effeminate or more masculine, but it's usually not my intention to portray a particular gender or ethnicity or race. My characters do tend to be more fair-skinned generally, and that's just because, to be honest, it's just because I use the white of the paper a lot. So I end up with things that are lighter overall, but this person already has purple and blue and orange and red in their skin. So just lots of variety already. But if I ever do intentionally paint with a race or ethnicity in mind, I of course intend to incorporate more variety. And I have sometimes, but generally it's not my goal. So, okay, it's time to focus on a detail. So we gotta move in, and yes, the live stream will be saved for later viewing, somebody asked. I can't believe it's already been an hour and 20 minutes. How is that even possible? We might cap out around 2 hours, depending on, you know, how the painting goes and at what point we finish. So just to keep that in mind. I'm now going to be switching to a smaller brush. This is an artsecret brush, I think, in a quill size 1, and mine is actually damaged. You can see right here there's some discoloration. It's cracked, so the laminate is busted, and when I get the brush wet, the water gets inside the wood and the wood is slowly rotting. So I'm gonna have to replace this brush eventually, but I haven't done it yet. All right, let's come in close for this part, because we're gonna start working on the face. Yeah, Creme, an absolute legend. Love Creme. So this eye is going to have more detail and be the focal point, this one here. This eye, because it is in shadow, I want to keep the value range very limited. If I add too much value and too much detail here, the whole shadow effect will be lost. So I have to keep my values more subtle on that side. What flavor of tea is my favorite? Oh boy. If I'm generally, when I'm just looking to grab some tea, I tend to gravitate towards black teas. Like I love them a lot, but I love all teas. Oolong is amazing. I love oolong tea. There's a milk oolong that I had not too long ago that I have to get some more of because I loved it. I definitely need more of that. So I apologize if my hand is in the way also while I'm working on this. But once you get into the finer details, I tend to grip the brush closer to the edge. So it's going to be a little bit harder to see around my hand. What musicians do I listen to? That's a great question. I love listening to music. I'm actually listening to music right now. You guys can't hear it. I'm just listening to some piano stuff right now. What I listen to tends to vary a lot depending on what sort of mood I'm in. But lately I've been listening to a lot of Ben Platt, who is, you know, probably most known for his role as Evan Hansen in the musical Dear Evan Hansen. But I've been listening to his album that came out recently a lot, which I enjoy very much. I like emotional music generally, so anything emotional vocals. We've talked about this a little bit before. But if it's gonna make me cry when I listen to it, I'll probably like it. Really like Mumford & Sons as a band, also as a group. Yep, slowly carving out this eye. I'm excited. Somebody asked about my opinion on Sakura Koi watercolors. I had a set when I was first getting started. I think they're really fun to play with, and if you're looking for an affordable option, they're not bad. They're a bit chalky, and I don't have mine anymore. I actually gave them away to a friend who was looking to get started with watercolors, so I think they're suitable for that sort of application. I don't think they're the sort of thing that I would want to do all my art with forever, but they're fun. Ooh, this is exciting! Ah! I'm excited to see this piece come together. Okay. Alright, so I want to start putting in areas of darker value just to sort of establish that. Okay, here we go. I'm not putting in necessarily my darkest values now because if I paint over them later that color could lift. So I'm trying to be careful. Ooh, this is fun! It's actually really nice having the stream going because I can see what I'm doing from the camera. I've talked about that a billion times, but being able to see what I'm working on a smaller screen helps me to see my piece from further away. And that's so helpful. Oof, this is exciting. Yeah, I really like musicals, so Dear Evan Hansen is great. I love Phantom of the Opera and Hamilton. I really like musicals. I really like Cats. We can talk about Cats if you guys want. We don't need to talk about Cats. Woo! Okay. I haven't listened to all of Hadestown yet. I really want to, though. I need to just put it on and listen to it while I'm working on something, because I want to experience it, but I haven't yet. Alright. I also need to remember that areas where, what am I happening? What am I doing? Oh, areas where that are not going to be the focal point, I don't need to deepen those values as much. even if in my reference it looks like the nostril is as is as dark as, you know, the corners of the eye, if I want the eye to be the focus, I don't have to make the nose as dark, you know? I can choose where the focus is. That's important. Yeah, we could talk about cats all day. Yeah, of course, I saw the trailer as soon as it came out. Cats. Oh boy. I'm excited about the movie. Just the fact that it's going to exist and that it's going to have that production value. You know, we haven't had Cats movies since the 97 cinematic reproduction, you know, that beautiful masterpiece of a creation. Some of the CG obviously is laughable. But I'm excited about the experience. Oh, this is fun, seeing the eye come together. Yeah, and of course then all the people who don't know that Cats is a musical and that it existed in the past prior to this are just making their own exclamations. But yeah, Cats the musical has been really important to me for a long time. So I'm excited that it's getting some love, you know? Yeah, I grew up with that musical, so seeing it come to life like this is exciting. Being super loose laying in colors here. But this is a fun and exciting part of the process, I think. Cats wanting to be sacrificed? One thing I will say is true about Cats is that there's a lot left to the imagination. So there are some things that they explain and that they lay out, but there's a lot that they don't, especially in terms of the story. It's very loose. So you've got the... Oh my goodness, are we doing this? Are we going into a Cats plot synopsis right now, guys? Because there's debate. There's debate about the cat plot synopsis. Thank you for saying that the painting looks lovely. I'm excited about it. Anyway, cats are meeting up for the ball, the Jellicle ball. Oh boy, you guys, I'm gonna sound like such a nerd talking about cats. What is happening? I'm hearing a noise in the room. Anyway, cats are meeting up for cat things, cat parties. And they're all just kind of like introducing themselves, and you get to learn about all these different cats. And this, I can't make this sound less nerdy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of a way, but I'm just gonna sound like a total nerd. Anyway, there's lots of different types of cats with their own quirks and personalities, and it is strange. Like when you first see it and you see these people acting like cats, it's weird, you know? It is weird, you know, and I think it's supposed to be a bit strange, but it's just a really unique experience. And there's a new cat who, like, this is her first Jellicle ball, and her name is Victoria. She's like the youngest cat at the ball. And also, as far as the musical goes, her dancing is kind of her thing. So she's a very good dancer, beautiful dancer. So weird. Yeah, but it's just really fascinating seeing all this world, you know, these cats and their habits and the way they do things and how they act with one another. And my favorite cat was always Mr. Mistopheles, and he's like a magician. So cute, and he dances and does little magic things. That sounds really silly, but yeah, that was the song I just listened to on repeat over and over and over and over again. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about cats. I'm gonna watch the movie, and some of the CG creeps me out, but I'll probably like it, to be honest, just because I like cats. I'm a musical special to me, so some of the actors I'm excited to see for the movie, some less so. But overall, it's gonna be fun times, I think. I hope. Getting very fiddly here. Oh geez, yeah, the song Memory. So context for the song Memory, let me educate you guys. The cat who sings Memory, her name is Grisabella, and she's an old cat who's lived a long life full of adventure, and she used to be this luxurious, beautiful cat, but she's gotten old now, and she's actually shunned by the younger cats. They're kind of excluding her for whatever reason, because she's old. But she just is reminiscing on a time when she was younger and when life was just a more beautiful thing, you know? So it's sad because, like, she's kind of being excluded from the festivities by these younger cats. Yeah, that's definitely the most known song of the musical. I don't like, this is controversial, I know. I don't like Jennifer Hudson as casting for that role. I think that the powerhouse vocalist is a little bit overrated currently. Not saying that she's not good. She's very good. But I personally don't think that she suits the role. It's meant to be this, I don't know, something with a little bit more delicacy and emotion to it, not just loudness. I don't know. I know that's controversial to say, but that's just my personal preference. Thanks for coming, I Color Dreams. Says they have to go. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do now? It's so funny because we're kind of at the point now in this painting. Yeah, we're talking about cats. We're kind of at the point now in this painting where at any point I could just leave it the way it is, to be honest, because I want it to be loose. So now I just have to choose, what do I want to communicate? What is important to me about the reference or what I have here that I'm going, oh, I want to show that, you know? So that those are the kind of decisions I need to make now in terms of this painting. I do have some things, like I want this corner of the eye fading up into here to be very warm and have a soft edge. And really, really kind of get that warmth in there. And let it fade out. It means a lot to me to get to think more abstractly about art like this, because that's something I just struggled with for so long, you know, loosening up in that way. But lately I've just been able to let myself do that. What's the brush? A watermelon inspired person, that's fun. Like I said before, this is an Artsecret quill brush in size 1. I got it from AliExpress. I've had it since whenever it was that I did that AliExpress video. I'm also going to take this warm color over here. It's super light now, I need more of it. Need to desaturate this a tiny bit. Oh, that's too much. Thanks for coming, Natalie. Natalie has to go too. Okay, I want to define this back shoulder blade that comes down and then fades up into here. So I want to keep a hard edge on the one side and then really, really soften it out. We've been jumping around from topic to topic quite a bit, so if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, please do let me know. This is the best part of streaming for me, you know, just kind of hanging out. Yeah, that's one thing that people have been saying a lot, is that they want to paint but they're really scared of messing up. So like, you're gonna mess up. Just, okay, if you're scared of messing up, you're gonna mess up. If you're not scared of messing up, you're gonna mess up anyway. Just do it. Do it and mess up and then get better, and the next time you might mess up less or you might mess up more, who knows. But you gotta just do it. Like, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna mess up sometimes. But then, like, there will be times when you don't, and you'll really like it. And you'll grow, or if you mess up, you'll learn and you'll grow. You're gonna mess up. It's gonna happen. So just make stuff. I don't even know if that's helpful. But you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna mess up, and that's fine. It's important to mess up. You want to mess up. I don't know if that's helpful at all. Different colors of paper, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about it. That sounds like fun though. I rely on the white of the paper with watercolors so much that I honestly hadn't considered just a different color of paper, but I like the idea. I'm gonna try to get this mix a little greener. Someone asked, fail? Yeah, your fail is your first attempt in learning. And maybe your second attempt, and your third attempt, and your fourth attempt. Failure is just part of creating. It's important. You gotta do it. You gotta fail. Yeah. Steve's right. Thanks for hanging around, Steve, by the way. Embrace failure as a teacher. Yeah, get more excited about what you're learning than a result. Yeah. It's important to, yeah, embrace the failures. It's really difficult to do that entire mindset shift, you know, because that's something I've been working on too, and the entire purpose of creating and the entire process, like, I just need to allow each painting to be an experiment, you know? Nothing has to be perfection. Everything just has to be, I did it, I tried, I wanted to learn, you know, doing it to learn and to express. Like, these days I found that I have started creating art more for the experience of creating art even than for the end result. Like, I want to make things, I want to create, and if the end result is something that I really like, that's like fantastic too. And I feel like it just changes the end result too, you know, when you allow yourself to just have more fun with the process. Yeah. Yep, enjoying the process is what helps you keep making art. That's what Ellen says, yeah. Because if all you want is the end result, you're not going to enjoy making the art. You're just going to want the creation process to be over as soon as possible, so you'll have the art at the end. And oh yeah, when people call their art ugly, sometimes, you know, and then sometimes we'll say, oh, I know my art's not very good, but blah, blah, blah. And I think that you're at where you're at, and that's important, to just let yourself be at where you're at and to grow. And if you can see that your art is not as good as someone else's, that's an important skill, observation. So much of being an artist is about learning how to see. So if you can see that your art is lacking in some things, kind of just means that you're able to see better, you know, and you're going to continue to be able to see. It's, you know, that chart. Everybody talks about this, the process of learning how to see better and then catching your hands up to your eyes, you know, like you can see it better, but you can't execute it. And that's when you feel like all your art is garbage. And then you learn to execute it better. And then you feel better about your art, but then you'll learn to see better and you'll feel bad about your art again. You know, it's just a process that just keeps going. Just a process of growth. I don't even know if there is a final destination, you know? Oh yes, somebody asked about, bye Pastel Lemon, thank you for coming. Somebody asked about acrylic gouache, so they're getting started with acrylic gouache. I wanted to know if I had any tips for what colors and brushes. Oh, that's hard. If you have colors that you already know that you like from watercolors or gouache or something like that, you could start there. Of course, starting with a set of primaries like red, yellow, blue, or magenta, cyan, yellow, however you want to think of it. That can be helpful, you know, just kind of starting from there. Oh boy, what are we doing here? I'm thinking, yeah, sorry. And as far as brushes, I tend to use the same brushes that I would use for gouache, which, as I said earlier, is oftentimes cheap synthetics for gouache. So nothing actually that holds too much water, because that it can be difficult to learn to control the water, than when you're working with your gouache. So I tend to start with synthetic stuff for me, so that I can work on water control in an easier way. Somebody asked what the difference between acrylic paint is and acrylic gouache. Well, acrylic gouache is acrylic paint. It usually is just made with a mattifier, or something is added to the paint to make it more matte so that it dries like gouache with that sort of matte finish. But acrylic gouache is acrylic paint, so it does dry permanently, and once it's dry you can't reactivate it like you can with gouache. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. I need like a fade out color, like a soft transition for this area. I don't want to disrupt the shadow too much, but I need warmth over here. Yeah, I've been loosening up a lot with my paintings lately, and that's been really, really important for me. But I had to go through all the other phases I've gone through to get to here, and this will be a phase too. You know, I'll have to go through, get this to get to wherever I want to go next. Have I ever thought of or entered an art competition? No, not really. I often consider submitting my art for galleries and things like that. I think it would be really fun to do that at some point, you know, just like save up some paintings that I'm really happy with and submit them for a gallery show and see how it goes. I would love to do that at some point. I just haven't gotten there yet. I think that would be a lot of fun to show my art somewhere. There are so many different ways to make connections as an artist and to grow. Alright, I think I do want to pull out this second eye a little bit. And, you know, just define that a bit more and deepen some of the other shadows. So let me do that first. We're going to deepen the shadows first. Not too much. I don't want it to get super dark, but we do need a bit more of our shadow value. Why did I just do that? I don't know. Okay. Bit more red. Oh, you've been knitting. That's cool. I miss knitting. I used to knit a lot. And now when I want to do something with my hands, an activity that will occupy my hands, it's usually art. So I just haven't had as much time for that lately. Knitting is fantastic. Yeah, I think it would be fun to show art someday. That would be really fun. We'll see. And something warm for this edge of the chin. I'm also probably going to end up on this one grabbing a little bit of white gouache at some point. So because I want this eye to be the focal point, I'm actually going to spend a little bit of time now pulling out the details, structuring it a bit more. you know, and adding structure around the eye, more three-dimensional form, so that it stands out more. Thank you. I really like the subtlety too. It's like one of my favorite things. Oh, I see that Mark Crilly just uploaded a new video. So I'll understand if you guys have to go watch that. I really like Mark Crilly. He was the first art YouTuber that I ever started following. That was many, many years ago. He's been doing art videos for a long time. Oh boy, we are getting there. It's so funny. I feel like the tinkering phase is what lasts the longest, you know? We just keep, we go, I could leave this at any point, but you keep making little tiny adjustments and more changes, and they turn into big changes over time. You just keep doing it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, by the way, again. And if you weren't here earlier, thank you also for 90,000 subscribers. We reached that milestone very recently, and I appreciate you very much. Who's my favorite artist? Ooh, that's a great question. There are so many artists that I admire. I've actually been really interested in, and forgive my pronunciation if you're from somewhere else and you say it differently, I've been really interested in Van Gogh lately. Not just his work, but his life, you know? As someone who suffered with mental illness, and in a time when that wasn't something that was understood or treated in a healthy way. And even though he created thousands and thousands of paintings, he never saw the recognition for that, you know? Which I think is a really interesting thing, because we get so offended in our current day and age when we don't get more followers or more likes or more subscribers, and kind of take for granted the fact that there have been times when people didn't see any success of their art in their entire lifetimes, but we regard them so highly these days, you know? Alright, so now you can kind of see what's happening. I have to be careful at this point in adding too much detail in the shadow areas. Oh, thank you, Jem. Aw, that's so sweet. You guys are awesome. What was I saying? Do I play any sports? I don't know why this is something I have to think about. Why am I rock climb. It's been a little while since we went rock climbing. I really miss it, actually. I miss rock climbing. I want to go rock climbing again soon. I'm going to deepen this entire shadow value a little bit. I don't want to do too much because I know I can overdo it at this point. But I'm going to grab a slightly larger brush. Not the biggest one. Actually, I'm just going to grab this Paul Rubens size 4. What was I talking about? Oh no, I don't remember. What were we talking about? My favorite artist. Oh geez. There have been lots of artists who have inspired me over the years. So it's difficult to pick a favorite, but when I do start to think about who inspires me the most currently, it's usually, oh right, we're talking about Van Gogh. Oh my gosh, yes. Jeez. And his life, and how I feel like we forget that stuff sometimes. But also, I really, obviously, Miriam Tilson, who's another YouTube artist. She's an artist who's also on YouTube. But I really admire her so much as a person and as an artist. And I'm grateful to call her my friend. And I admire her work very much. When I think of my favorite artists, I usually tend to gravitate towards people I connect with on Instagram. or here on YouTube. Yeah, that second eye, I'll do a little bit of pulling out, but it's not going to get nearly as detailed as this one. And that's going to be very intentional. Yeah, like it's going to stay pretty lost in the shadows, which is important. But I think it's time. I think it's time to get to it. So can you guys see now at this point why I'm hesitant to add hair? Because I feel like adding in hair would just wreck, you know? Jeez. Do I know the YouTuber artist like Shuri? I don't know who that is. I haven't gotten to connect with a ton of YouTube artists. Some people. Oh, okay, sorry. Let's keep talking about favorite artists, and then we'll work on the second eye soon. Well, I need this to dry a bit before I go in there. So while we wait, I'm going to do a little bit more defining on the first eye. John Lariva. John Lariva is an oil painter who has a YouTube channel. And he's a fantastic artist. He has a very expressive style. The way he works with oils is just amazing, and it's really, really gorgeous. I admire his art very much and have a lot of respect for him. Yeah, I think the hair would ruin it. Like, just adding hair would just ruin the subtlety of it. And that's why even eyebrows, you know. And I guess you could add hair in such a way as it is to coincide with the light and shadow of the piece that might not ruin it. But I just feel like I would rather just skip it, you know? Like the subtlety of the piece would just disappear, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's part of why maybe I just need to learn a new way to do it, you know? A new way to do hair. We'll see. I'm pulling out the contrast of this eye a little bit, but I have to be careful because that can ruin the subtlety of the piece too if I add too much contrast to that eye. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. I'm running out of steam here, to be honest. It's funny, just doing this takes a lot of mental energy. Streaming while I make art takes a lot of mental energy. So it's difficult for me to maintain for extended periods of time, but I want to. This would be the first time I ever finished a painting on stream. Like we've done streams before, but I've never finished a painting during a stream. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to add hair, guys. I feel like it would wreck the subtlety of it, you know? I had put in some, yeah, no, I don't know. I'm going to have to experiment in my sketchbook with hair so I can think about it some more. All right, let's do this other eye because this is going to be interesting. I'm playing around with these until one of them's right. Okay. So I'm going to start with the darkest part. Somebody asked just now about acrylic painting, and somebody had asked earlier if I was ever going to explore more with other mediums. And I have done some. Currently, I'm focusing on watercolors because I want to experiment more and explore with this particular style of really loose painting, you know? This has got to be very subtle or I'll wreck my shadows. So very, very subtle over here. See how there's just a little bit of definition? You know, like you can kind of tell that the eye's there, but it's not distracting. The shadow is still a shadow and everything just kind of disappears over there. That's really important. Even this is almost too much, what I just did. So I have to be very careful. I have to decide if I like that. Yeah, adding too much details to shadows, great way to wreck your shadows. So fiddling around, I can fiddle around, well, no, I can't fiddle around anywhere, but yeah, don't want to add too much to there. Didn't I finish the acrylic painting? I guess that might have been finished. I definitely didn't get it to a place where I was like, ah, this is a good, I don't know. If I finished it, I didn't like it very much. Which I know is not super great news, but all right, we're just about done with this, I think, which is exciting. And again, for anyone who's still asking, the brush is an Artsecret quill in size 1. Let me type it out real quick while I take a break from this. I need to just think about if there's any, here, let's back up so you guys can help me decide if there's anything else I want to do or add or change in this painting. I'm pretty happy with how it looks right now. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more adjustments. It might just stay like this. This edge is really hard and really dark. So I don't know, but that's where we're at right now. Oh, Laura mentioned about drawing people without sketches, and there was a sketch here. It's just very, very light, so you can't see it a ton. Hey, there's a little bug. Look, do you see it? A tiny little dude crawling around on my painting. You can't even see him, he's so tiny. I think it's a spider. Okay. Sorry, that was random. Yeah, it's very subtle, and I think it is just about done. I just need to look at it for a moment to decide if there's anything else I want to change or add. Any other tiny details? Let me think. This might be just about done, I think. Yeah, I think it's done. Wow, we finished a painting on stream, you guys! This is so exciting! I'm fiddling now, which I know is dangerous, but I should stop. There's also a decent amount of saturation in the ear, but I like it. You can check a little bit higher up in the chat for the brush that I'm using. Okay, I think that's it. Any other last minute questions? Please do let me know, and I will take a couple minutes to answer those before we wrap up. I used my White Nights watercolors today. This was really fun, guys. We did some sketches, we did a painting. How awesome is that? I wish I had a blank piece of paper so I could write down what brush I'm using. Because people are asking a lot. Let's scoot this over. I'm not going to peel the tape because it's very wet and I need to give it time to dry, but I wanted to pull my sketchbook in so we can have them together. Thank you, guys. Yep, scroll up in chat for the brush info. It's in there. So we've got our painting, we've got our sketchbook. got all my little stuff just laying around. Ended up using 3 brushes today. Just mop quills of different sizes, basically. How many art prints have I made in total? Oh boy, I don't know. I sell lots of prints on my shop, but probably not a ton of prints, because I haven't been selling them for a super long time or that many. Hello from the Philippines. Aw, thank you. Fluid acrylics. I've seen them, but I've never worked with them. If I was gonna, I would rather just work with acrylics, like soft body or heavy body acrylics or watercolor. Do I practice with anything other than watercolor? Yeah, I use watercolor, but I also use gouache and sometimes acrylic gouache, and sometimes acrylics, a little bit of oil painting. Thank you to anyone who's been here the entire past 2 hours. That's incredible. So, we've been hanging out for a long time, so thanks for hanging out with me. Let's see, any more? I'm just going to, we'll do maybe 2 more minutes of just last minute questions. Making clean lines with a brush, like, because I don't do a ton of line work. So, oh no, Earl's back and can't sleep. We're just about to finish up, so. Aw, thank you, Black Queen. Aw, that's so sweet. I appreciate you. Oh, any colors I gravitate towards a lot? Yeah. I definitely tend to use a lot of the same colors when I work. Like today I used, from my White Night set, I used Naples Yellow, which is this dirty looking yellow here because I've used it so much, and Cadmium Red Light over here. Today I used a lot of Phthalo Blue, but I also sometimes use this Indigo Payne's Gray, so those 3 or Phthalo Blue as the blue instead. But they get nice desaturated colors that I like a lot. So that's fun. Oh, I don't have a regular streaming schedule currently. I would love to have a regular streaming schedule. To be honest, Fridays are the days that I tend to stream most often. So maybe in the future we can make like once a month on a Friday or every other Friday a streaming habit, you know, that would be great. No promises yet. If I have an official schedule, I'll let you guys know. I don't currently, but if that does arise, an official streaming schedule, I'll let you guys know. Aw, thank you. I'm so glad you're enjoying the sticker sheets. Yeah, I've been making sticker sheets over on Patreon. I'm actually going to finish packing up August's sticker sheets for Patreon today. So those should be going out in the mail early next week for August. So that's great. Yeah, Phthalo Blue and Payne's Gray, those are both fantastic blues. Alright, so we are going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much. If you have, I have done collaborations with other artists, and there are some artists that I'm hoping to collaborate with soon in the future, so that would be really special. So anyway, thank you guys so much for... Naples Yellow is one of my favorite colors. I keep reading your comments, so I keep not wanting to stop streaming. I really love Naples Yellow. It's just, it mixes really desaturated, nice, dusty oranges and pinks and greens, and I love that. And purples too. So, have a fantastic rest of your day, guys. I'm going to do my best to make sure that this gets uploaded to YouTube. And I will see you all later next time. Bye, guys. I would be really sad if I just stuck my head in here. Yep. I'm gonna regret that decision forever. Anyway. Yeah, enjoy where you're at right now. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Bye bye.